So there's another book review today, and as the title suggests, wherever the title is, today I'm going to be reviewing An Abundance of Katherines by John Green. This story is told in third person, and it's about a guy named Colin Singleton, who is a child prodigy and also has a thing for girls named Catherine, which is a really specific thing if you ask me. The story starts off right after the 19th Catherine dumps him, and the rest of it kind of revolves around how he deals with it, with the help of his friends and like figuring stuff out by himself and an adventure. There are flashbacks or explanations in between everything else about his relationships with the previous Catherines, just to give his tragic love life more context. This was my third John Green book, the first being The Fault in Our Stars and the second being Looking for Alaska. To be honest, I didn't really have high expectations for this book because all of the reviews I read before getting the book myself were overwhelmingly negative, and that made me put off buying it for a while. Right off the bat, I just prepared myself for it to be terrible and for me to be terribly disappointed, but then I was pleasantly surprised. I ended up really enjoying it and didn't feel worse after reading it. For a change, I did not cry while reading a John Green book. The story was fun and the characters were great, and because they all had such vividly different personalities, I started caring about them individually and about what would happen to them at the end because it was all so up in the air. I didn't know what to expect. In terms of how I was introduced to Colin in the book, I kind of immediately liked him because one of the first things you find out about him is that one of his general policies in life was never to do anything standing up that could just as easily be done lying down. I feel you, bro. I do. Another cool thing about the book is that at the bottom of a lot of pages you get footnotes that explain certain things on the page. For example, on the very first page there is a thing that explains that Eureka is Greek for I have found it. These footnotes seemed really sarcastic to me at points, but they were very informative. They were fun, and I feel like they made the book more interactive and even educational in a way. I usually like to give like my favorite line or scene from books when I'm reviewing them on my blog, so I figured I'd start doing that in my video reviews as well. So my favorite lines from An Abundance of Katherines were: what is the point of being alive if you don't at least try to do something remarkable? I liked that one because it's true. It's something to live by. You should try to at least achieve something while you are alive, because why are you alive otherwise? And my other favorite line slash scene thing was: I'm what I need to be at any moment to stay above the ground but below the radar. The only sentence that begins with I that's true of me is I'm full of shit. I liked that one because I could feel it on a very personal level. Yeah. In the middle of the book, you find out that Colin is working on like a mathematical equation theorem thing that will predict how long a relationship will last. It gave him something to do, so whatever. So, in conclusion, An Abundance of Katherines is definitely not my favorite John Green book, but it's not as bad as many of the reviews would lead you to think. It's engaging, the characters are interesting, albeit sometimes a little whiny and self-involved. Colin is especially self-involved, which is why I kind of ended up hating him at some point. But I got over it very quickly, because great story. That was An Abundance of Katherines by John Green. I would recommend this if you want to get into John Green things, but definitely don't make this your first read. I would suggest trying some of his other work before tackling this one, because I do feel like John's voice came through, especially in the footnotes, which, I don't know, was fun. I enjoyed it. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was informative in some way. And I also hope that you're enjoying whatever book you're currently reading. So, thanks again, and goodbye. Blah.